And welcome into Real Deal Sports Talk with KP. It's September 6th, 2019. We're officially into week 1 of the NFL. Yeah. Baseball's still going. We got basketball on the horizon. College football's kicked off. We're not going to talk any college football this week. We will, or this show. We will on the next show. This weekend, we'll talk some college football. There's some interesting storylines in the official week 1. Not week 0 of college football. We're into week 2 of college football now, or week 3, depending on how you look at it. But we'll get to college football in the next show. We've got NFL week 1, so I've got to get my division predictions out there, who I think is going to win each division. I've got my predictions for week 1. I did take Green Bay last night. Put that one aside. I'll give you the rest of my predictions for week 1. We'll talk a little bit about what's going on there in Dallas and how they might be able to make it work, where the money's going to come from, and what sets them apart a little bit from some of the other teams in the league. We're going to talk about how we're in this pattern right now in the NFL of teams allowing players and average players, okay players, to reset the market, to earn top dollar, just because their contract's up and they're fearful of losing that player or not having that player on their team. Of course, we'll touch on what's going on with Antonio Brown, and then why I love sports number 6. If we have time, we'll get to that at the end as well. But let's start off with my division winners for this season. We're going to start with AFC. Excuse me. We'll start with the AFC North. Popular team right now to pick, obviously, is the Swag Pound. I'm coining that term. I'm going to stay with that term. I'm talking about the Cleveland Browns. The Swag Pound, popular pick. Cincinnati's easily the weakest team in that division. We'll wait and see on Baltimore. They have some pieces. We're going to need Lamar Jackson to take a few steps forward this season. It's yet to be seen what that's going to look like. Pittsburgh, solid team. Hall of Fame quarterback, still good pieces at the skill positions. Solid run game, good offensive line. Defense is going to be, dependable. But if I had to pick right now on paper with what I've seen, I'd have to go with Pittsburgh. I think Cleveland does have a chance, but there's a lot of blending that needs to go on there. We're hearing that Odell Beckham has got some concern about his lingering hip injury. I think Pittsburgh is the solid, is the constant, is the gold standard in that division. I would expect Pittsburgh Steelers to win the AFC North this year. AFC East, Patriots. AFC South, I did have the Colts winning this right up until Andrew Luck retired. Now I think this division is wide open. Could Jacksonville win it? Sure. If that's a team that's going to come to play this year. 2 years ago, they came to play each and every week, and they showed that they could be a team to reckon with. Last year, they did not come to play at all. They got paid to go out and be a bunch of bums. And sure, they might think they were given 100%, but look at the film in the 2 years. Look at the effort. Look at the hustle. The attention to detail. It's not the same. So could Jacksonville do it? Sure. They think in Nick Foles we trust right now. He's going to get us there. Deshaun Watson in Houston has an excellent chance. Good team. Offensive weapons. Tennessee, I don't see winning. Crazier things have happened. But I'm going to take Houston to win the division. I don't trust Jacksonville right now. I don't think Tennessee has enough. And Indianapolis, I'm sorry, Jacoby Brissett, Chad Kelly, and Brian Hoyer are going to get you to 8-8 or 9-7 at the best. AFC West. Popular picks, Kansas City. I'm taking the Chargers. I think Kansas City takes a step back this year. I expect them to, compete for the division, obviously, but they're not catching anybody off guard this year. We know what we're dealing with. Yes, they just re-upped Tyreek Hill. I personally would have let the contract expire and let him play it out. Prove that he's going to be a better person, a contributing factor to a community, and not somebody who appears to have anger and physical abuse problems that are lingering throughout his life. At the privilege of making $35 million guaranteed money. I think there could be issues in Kansas City. I like the addition of Shady McCoy. I think that's going to make that offense, go to the next level. You've got speed and shiftiness inside to out. You've got creative players inside and out. But I'm going to take the Chargers. I don't know that Melvin Gordon sitting out right now for the Chargers is enough to keep that team, the way they play, their style, and Phillip Rivers from getting 10, 11 wins this year. And Kansas City's going to be right in that range too. They're going to be somewhere between 10 and 12 wins for those teams if they stay healthy. I'm going to take the Chargers as my surprise winner of the AFC West. NFC North. We saw the Packers and the Bears last night. I think the Packers defense is better than I gave it credit for in my preseason evaluation. I think the Bears offense is not as impressive as we all expected it to be. I don't know why David Montgomery did not get the ball more. I don't know why they didn't run the ball more. It's like Matt Nagy wanted to be special, calling his plays, and show he was a better offensive mind than Matt LaFleur. Neither one of them had good game plans, and what you saw last night was the effect of football players not playing football to get ready to play football. The first few weeks of the regular season are now the preseason. They're finally going to get some live, real action and quantity of reps doing it. It's why offensive linemen coming into the NFL struggle so much. The physicality of the game of those positions has been weakened. And then the quality of the games that count have now been weakened as well. Expect a lot of the same on Sunday and Monday. You might have a team here and there that looks like they got it together, but most teams, most games are going to look like what last night's game looked like. So we saw those two teams. We saw what they looked like last night. Not impressive. Neither team looked great on offense. Neither team had fluidity. Neither team was getting into a groove of any kind. Neither team could run the ball. Both defenses looked pretty stout. Then there's Detroit and Minnesota. You all know I'm a Detroit fan. The heart says pick Detroit to win this division. And I would love it if they won the division. I do not see Minnesota winning it. I do not see Chicago winning it. It's either going to be the surprise of the Detroit Lions or I think the Green Bay Packers. NFC East. Philadelphia on paper, something else. Great team. Looked like they got every piece. Dallas with Zeke and the defensive pieces that they're putting together, their offensive line, the addition of Amari Cooper, I think they win this division this year. But this could be one of the funner division races to watch. NFC South. You got to go with the Saints. Very disappointed in Drew Brees' decision to take part in a conversion therapy commercial. That's a bunch of bullshit. Conversion therapy is bullshit. I'm shocked that he would do that. And honestly, it made me lose some respect for him as a person. Everybody's entitled to their own beliefs, but your beliefs should not try and take away what somebody else is. Because if they do, they're wrong. That's just real talk. Carolina, they're going to be in the mix. Atlanta's going to be in the mix. Tampa Bay could surprise everybody, but right now I've got to go with the Saints. I like what they have on defense. They have the best quarterback in the division. So I'll go with the Saints, despite my displeasure with their quarterback choices. And then the NFC West, I know everybody wants to take the Rams. Seahawks, I don't think the Cardinals are going to be in that mix this year unless some other teams fall victim to the injury bug. San Francisco, I can kind of see what they're building there. They're getting pieces Kyle Shanahan's going to love to use on the offensive side of the ball that are multifaceted. I like the addition of Telvin Coleman. Jalen Hurts not going to be playing. It doesn't look like he's out this week with a back. The rookie coming out of Baylor who played at Tennessee as a running back, played at Baylor as a receiver. But I think they're still a year or two away in San Francisco. That being said, Seattle, LA, Seattle, LA. I'm going to think Seattle might get it this year. I think LA also takes a step back. I think there's enough on tape right now. Todd Gurley's arthritic knee problem, issue, non-issue is going to be an issue. I think letting CJ Anderson walk in free agency was not good. They do have Brown as the backup. Cooper Kupp is what made that offense go last year. Go back, watch the tape. After he went down, the offense changed. He's back. But I think they take a step back this year, and that could put them in the range where it comes down to division. Seattle, who won the matchup, something like that. I'll take Seattle as another surprise pick over the Rams to win the NFC West. So those are my division winners. I will take Pittsburgh, New England, Houston, the Chargers, Green Bay, Dallas, New Orleans, and Seattle as my division winners for this upcoming season. Now, my Week 1 predictions for the games. Like I said, I did take Green Bay in the predictions, believe me or not. I could screenshot my saved picks in my Pick'em League if somebody doesn't believe me. You can go ahead and hit the text line. You can go to the website, realdealsportstalkwithkp.com. The text line's there. You can get on, get at KP and let me know. But those are my division winners. Those, if you want to see my pick'ems, get at me. I'll let you know. That text line number, if you want it, 720-515-5597. Email the show, rdst.wkp@gmail.com. Or again, get Real with KP link on the website, Real Deal Sports Talk with KP.com. So the rest of my picks for Week 1, I did go with Green Bay. I thought Aaron Rodgers, Week 1 against Chicago, he has the upper hand in Week 1. He didn't have a great night. Nobody had a great night. But Green Bay pulls it out 10-3. I will take the Rams to beat the Panthers. I'm going to take the Swag Pound over Tennessee. I will take Jacksonville in my upset game. I was going to have 2, but I will take Jacksonville in my upset game to beat Kansas City. I think they have something to prove. And they could catch Kansas City thinking that they are, unstoppable. Baltimore, I'll take to beat Miami, as Miami looks to be one of the worst teams in the NFL. I'll take Atlanta to beat Minnesota. I will take the Jets over Buffalo. Philadelphia to beat Washington. I'll take the Chargers over the Colts. Seattle over Cincinnati. I'm taking Detroit to beat the rookie quarterback Week 1 this year, and I will take them over Arizona. I'm going to take the Cowboys over the Giants. I did pick the Giants in this game originally. I changed after Zeke signed. So I expect Dallas to pull that out Week 1, but I expect the Giants to make it a game with Saquon Barkley. I'll take 49ers over Tampa Bay. New Orleans over Houston. Denver to beat Oakland on Monday night. And I've got the Patriots beating Pittsburgh Sunday night by 1 touchdown. So those are all my predictions for the divisions, the Week 1 performances. And like I said, I had to go back and I had to change my prediction. I was going to have the Giants upsetting Dallas because I wasn't sure if Zeke was going to play. Zeke signs. in number of years. The extension takes it to an 8-year deal. Everybody's like, whoa, that's a long time to sign a running back. Short lifespan. Look at all the carries. He's not going to see 8 years on that contract. Watch. This is going to end up being a 4 or 5 year deal max. And then he'll either be re-signed or he'll be somewhere else. He's not going to see 8 years on this deal. I promise you that. But he's gotten paid. And that makes a big difference for that team. Like I said before on this show, he is arguably the best running back in the NFL right now. His running style, his physicality, his ball catching ability. Arguably the best running back in the NFL. He makes that team go. He is more important to that team than Dak Prescott any day of the week. Dak can be replaced. If Zeke and that offensive line are still there, they're going to be solid. They're still going to be a contender. So where's the money for Dak and Amari going to come from? Because think about who they have now signed. Zeke signs his big deal. Jalen Smith signed his big deal. La'el Collins has signed his big deal. Marcus Lawrence signed his big deal. Most of their offensive line is locked up between 2022 and 2023. Zeke is signed up through then. Vander Esch's rookie deal is going to be coming up right around then. Still got a lot of players to sign. We've heard Dak is asking for 40. He wants to reset the market. We're going to talk about average players resetting the market here in a minute. And he's average. I'm sorry, he is. Is he one of the better 32 in the league? Sure. Is he a top 10 guy? No. Amari Cooper comes to that team. They had a great connection. They had that offense rolling. Zeke was important to that offense rolling. I would like to see them be able to figure it out because this team could be exciting. This team has a lot of young pieces. And I hate to admit that because I can't stand the owner. I don't agree with the way he does things, but he gets results. Now, he's managed to sign all these guys so far. A lot of people think Dak's going to be signed soon or that Amari's deal could even come before the weekend's over. And how they're able to do that and sign all these deals is cash on hand. It's one of the things that truly separates the Cowboys from some of these other organizations is cash on hand. Oakland can't make the same deals. Denver can't make the same deals. They don't have that kind of cash on hand to where you can pay these bonuses and these signing bonuses and that instant upfront money. They have to let the revenue come in to be able to play. And that sets the Cowboys apart big time. It gives them an advantage in signing players and getting free agents on big money and completing these deals because they can work the contract to where it doesn't screw their salary cap and still get the guy the money they need because they have the cash on hand. And that's not exactly how it works. There's more intricacies to it than that. But that plays a big part in it. And I talked about resetting the market with average players, with Dak being the guy who's going to get $40 million a year when he is in no way the best quarterback in the league. He should not be making more than the guys that are ahead of him just because his contract's up and it's time to reset the market. It's the exact same situation we got in with the rookie contracts. And rookies and Sam Bradford making $40-something million on his rookie deal as the number one pick, and he had never taken a snap in the NFL. And now he's made $100 million or something in the NFL, and he's never accomplished anything. So now we've got the same kind of situation. Here's some average guys. They're up. They're young. They're mine. Let's reset the market. No, he's not better than Aaron Rodgers. He's not better than Matt Ryan. He's not better than some of the guys that are ahead of him. Jared Goff just got paid to reset the market also for the most guaranteed money in the history of the NFL. Looks like about $110 million or something that he'll get. Again, he is not. Why is Jared Goff resetting the market just because he's up? You look at some of the guys and some of the contracts they've signed. Cam Newton over $100 million contract. Okay, you could argue Cam. He's led that team pretty much on his own most season. Ndamukong Suh's contract, resetting the market for the whole NFL. Defensive player-wise, that was too much money. It crippled what Miami was able to do. They didn't have a solid plan. They just wanted the name. They wanted the player. When Joe Flacco signed his big deal and reset the market, that was not a good deal. I said it would cripple Baltimore. Luckily, they had Ozzie Newsome and their personnel department, and they were able to be okay. But when you've got average players that reset the market, when you've got guys that really haven't proven anything, that have had maybe some good years or a good game, resetting the market, that's not a good thing for the league. All of a sudden, when a really good player comes up, when one of the top players comes up, when Russell Wilson reset the market on his deal after being a rookie, just because he had gone to a couple Super Bowls with that amazing defense. That was not a good time for Russell Wilson to be resetting the market as if he was one of the top quarterbacks in the league. These teams need to get back to slotting these guys and going, okay, here's where you are against your peers. Not you're up, so you're the next one. This has become an agent, a money-driven situation. Michael Thomas, great receiver. Yes, he should be probably the top-paid receiver. He's probably the best true receiver in the game. But too much money for Michael Thomas. It's going to end up hurting the team overall. Unless they get more of the pie. They get more money in the next collective bargaining agreement. They get a higher percentage of the earnings, of the revenue. You're going to see these teams, all of a sudden, smaller market teams that don't have cash on hand, not being able to compete for some of these players. Trent Brown, Oakland Raiders. You're going to see him not have that good of a season outside of maybe run blocking. And he resets the market. Aaron Donald, that understand. He's the best player in the NFL. Either side of the ball. In my opinion. Xavier Howard resetting the market for cornerbacks. He is not one of the top corners in the league. Top 10 maybe. Justin Tucker should have reset the market for kickers. But it seems like more and more, especially with the quarterbacks, and for a while with running backs, we found ourselves in this situation where it's not the top guys getting paid. It's not guys going, okay, here's where you rank and here's where you come in. Kirk Cousins getting $84 million guaranteed. What? Why? How is Kirk Cousins worth that? How can he reset that market? Nate Soldier, when he reset the market for tackles, average tackle, 15 per year. Luckily, Taylor Lewan has come through, but now he's found himself suspended. Zach Martin, quality guard. Understand why he got the top contract there. Another Dallas Cowboy though. More money for the Cowboys. They're going to have to figure out how that's going to work. Odell Beckham. Okay. You could argue he's one of the better receivers. Reset that receiving market at $18 million per. Jimmy Graham is still the top tight end earner. Why? Todd Gurley until Zeke got his contract. That kind of makes sense outside of now what we think we know about the knee situation. Olivier Vernon is defensive end, resetting the market there. Are you kidding me? That makes absolutely no sense. He's not a top 10 defensive end in the NFL. And he reset the market like that? Average players resetting the market. Josh Norman, in my opinion, slightly above average. reset the market until Xavier Howard's deal. And it was a bad deal. It was too much for him. It's a trend that needs to end. It's a trend that's built by fear, and I just don't like it. It's not a good look. What's going on with right now with AB is not a good look. I've been an AB supporter. I don't know what's going on with him right now. He's this offseason, the way it ended in Pittsburgh, it's starting to look like something's going on with this guy. Like, we all need to be concerned. I know we're not getting the full story. I know there's two sides to the story. I know both sides probably in this situation are wrong. That doesn't excuse the behavior, and it doesn't mean there's not signs there. He got the new deal. He got the new team. We had the helmet issue. We had the interview in the spring where he said he doesn't need football. He wants to play the game. He loves the game, but he doesn't need it. That should have been the first sign right there that something was up. Especially when he had the Steelers-colored hair at the time with the yellow thing and the yellow mustache and the red one and the blue one. Or I think he was missing one of the colors or something like that. We had the cryo chamber. We had the helmet again. We had missing practice, not being focused, doing social media, having screens out, multiple phones. More helmet. $50,000 plus in fines in the letter, and him saying he's going to do this and that, and firing the ball off at practice, and now getting in a confrontation with the GM who clearly has no power for the Oakland Raiders. That is 100% John Gruden's situation. You can't tell me, as the boss of the team, as the GM, as the guy who selects the players, that can save the owner $30 million, that you're going to threaten to hit me. You're going to call me names, even if I don't even find that name offensive. I know other people do. And there's not going to be some kind of disciplinary action. Suspension, missing a game, multiple games, a larger fine. Nope, coach comes out and says, I'm playing this week, bitch. GM, sit down. You came in to judge talent, to talk to the media. You have no power, Mr. Mayock. So AB's probably going to play. He's not being suspended. He's not going to miss any time. More than likely, he's not going to see a fine. The other players in that organization are saying, look what he can get away with. This is not going to end well for the Oakland Raiders. This is John Gruden's shit show. Antonio Brown could have lost $30 million. Gives an emotional apology we hear today, with the team captain supporting. But, you got to wonder, has he had too many concussions? Is there CTE behavior and signs that we're now seeing in him now with this erratic behavior? Does he still want to play? Ryan Leaf commented on it. He doesn't think he wants to play anymore. He sees similar behavior and similar actions to the way he was at the end of his career. The acting out, the not showing up, the being irresponsible, some of the comments, lashing out. Those kind of things. So I don't know what to think about AB right now. I know it doesn't look good. The optics are not good on it. Some people want to sit back, wait and see. Well, that's fine. We can all sit back and wait and see. But my question is, do we need to be concerned about his mental health? Is there something else that's going on with this guy? Or has the ego just gotten so big? Or is it just completely media manipulation? I think the latter is the least likely of the scenarios. There's either something wrong and going on there, or the ego has gotten so big and the act has gotten bigger than the athlete. Now, on the opposite sides of things, there's the guy who takes over his role in Pittsburgh, Juju Smith. Why I love sports, number 6. One of the things I always thought I would do if, I ever made it. And, it's not one of the touching ones where something got to do with a kid and an athlete or, some touching story about a record or a long journey or something like that. But it's one of the perks that happens when you come from nothing and you make it as an athlete and you've got some money and you're able to give back to the people who got you there. And Juju Smith comes from a family with 7 kids. They had one car, so his dad took the bus most of the time to and from work to provide for the family. So now Juju's got some money. Now he's doing some things. He's making it happen. He was able to get his dad the truck that he always wanted, making the family proud, helping the family out. And I have to imagine that nothing feels better for a young athlete than when you're able to go and do something like that for the people you love most. And that's great, taking care of loved ones. And that's what a lot of these guys want to do when they make it, when they get on. Is, we came from nothing. I want my mama to have a house. I want my dad to have a truck. I want my auntie, to have her bag. And they try and take care of everybody. They forget to take care of themselves. So as much as I love that story, I hope Juju takes care of himself as well. That's real talk. That's what I got for you. I had my predictions. We had AB. We talked about Juju. We talked about average players setting the market. Zeke getting paid. Dallas having cash on hand. Until next time, you know how we do. Just be real.